Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the digital asset investor. In the group today, we're going to talk about the July 17th XRP rumor that's going around and probably some other things. There's a lot to cover in this video. If you want to join, go to daixrp.com to join through the Patreon, or you can click the join button below any of my YouTube videos, or you can subscribe by hitting the subscribe button through X. As you know, iTrustCapital started staking Solana, but how does it work? Here's how it works.
Want to start earning staking rewards? Here's an easy walkthrough to get you started. Note, you may only stake an asset that you already own on our platform. If you don't own the asset you wish to stake, you can click the Buy button within your account to make a purchase. Once signed into your iTrustCapital account, locate the asset you wish to stake from your account dashboard. Next, select the Stake button. Enter the amount you'd like to stake based on the number of tokens currently available in your portfolio. Now take a moment to review the information to ensure all details are correct, and then check the box to agree to the terms of service. When finished, click the green button below to stake your asset. Assets officially start staking on the next business day. To unstake your asset, navigate to the Asset Details page and click the Unstake button. Next, use the drop-down menu to select the amount you'd like to unstake. These options should match the daily amount you have already staked. Next, review the transaction details carefully to ensure everything is correct. Once confirmed, check the box to agree to the terms of service and click the green button to proceed. Your assets and any rewards will remain unavailable until the unstaking period is complete. There you have it. Need more assistance?
All right, so as I've told you, iTrustCapital is my partner. You can go to iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army. I have IRAs with them. I also have a premium custody account. They are accepting people that want to send their XRP into a premium custody account. Now you can send it in there. This is institutional custody. It doesn't cost anything. The only thing they charge is a 1% trading fee. I'm not sure if they charge anything on the staking. So I'm not, that's a new thing, so I'm not sure on that one. And if you do want to open an account, go use the promo code XRP6. It'll get you a $100 funding bonus. All right, we've got a 288 XRP. This thing's hanging around up there. We are all sitting around waiting for blast off. CoinDesk says Bitcoin and XRP futures see record activity pointing to elevated price volatility. You can feel it, can't you? Look at this, U.S. June inflation rose 0.3%, matching forecast, while core CPI cooled slightly at 0.2 versus 0.3. And you got Trump saying the Fed should cut rates by 3 points. Very low inflation, $1 trillion a year could be saved. And then you've got the Treasury Secretary on saying this.
You said previously the interview.
You can see the stage is being set to lower interest rates, and that will be one part of the recipe that blasts crypto off.
Process would begin later on in the fall. There's been plenty of speculation as to whether that process would be brought forward. Mr. Secretary, do you still, as far as you understand, believe that's when the interview process to replace the Fed chair will begin in the fall, or has a formal process already started?
Well, look, there's a formal process that's already starting. There are a lot of great candidates. And we'll see how rapidly it progresses. It's President Trump's decision, and it will move at his speed.
Do you see any merit at all in selecting maybe a candidate that's already on the committee on the FOMC versus taking a look at someone outside of the Federal Reserve?
Again, there are a lot of good candidates inside and outside the Federal Reserve, Jonathan.
Has the chairman himself, the Fed Chair Jay Powell, given you any indication whatsoever as to what he would do once his term has expired? Will he vacate his seat as the governor at the Federal Reserve?
Well, traditionally, the Fed chair also steps down as a governor, and there's been a lot of talk of a shadow Fed chair causing confusion in advance of his or her nomination. And I can tell you, I think it'd be very confusing for the market for a former Fed chair to stay on also.
All right, they're setting the stage. Now, watch this. This is Hester Pierce from the SEC on the XRP ETFs.
The SEC, we want to talk about some ETF offerings now. So the SEC recently postponed a few ETF offerings, including Litecoin, XRP. And I think as of last night, Bitwise's attempt to convert its crypto index into an ETF. So some of investors are frustrated by this delay. Can you just walk us through the decision-making process here?
Well, so I did warn people at the outset of this crypto task force project that people would be frustrated. And this is definitely manifesting itself this week. I've heard a lot of complaints. And I think the point to remember is that there are a lot of we're a bureaucracy at the SEC, right? There are a lot of rules that have to be adhered to, and their processes. And so we've gotten a lot of applications on the ETP side, on the exchange traded product side. And so we're working through those. But we have to do that in a way that will definitely frustrate people.
But just to be clear, you're not ruling out these listings, right?
No, I think we're not ruling out the listings, and even when you see delays, you shouldn't assume that that's ruling it out.
Okay.
That's there are just technical reasons for it.
Okay, but they're coming one way or another. So apparently, apparently, nobody has told these guys about actual utility with digital assets because they haven't seen it yet. But when they get a level playing field, they're going to get to see it. Grown men will weep.
I made this point and people gave me all sorts of shit. I gave a quote in a Forbes article a couple of weeks ago. I said, they were asking about XRP price. They were talking about the court case. I said, the court cases don't mean shit. What matters is XRP is beta to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's gone up. And guess what? XRP has done exactly what I said it would do. Its beta to Bitcoin was high. It's gone up more. Bitcoin plateaus, et cetera, et cetera. Bitcoin drops, et cetera, et cetera. So there you go, Mike. I teed you up with so many things.
All right, this might be one of the most interesting videos you see today. This is the Canary Capital CEO. His name's Steve McClurg. I met him backstage at XRP Las Vegas. Played football at University of Texas. Very interesting guy. He's usually a cautious guy. But listen to what he says, because I always knew this is where this thing would end.
Let's talk about XRP ETF filings with the SEC. Obviously, you guys are at the top of the list right there behind Bitwise, and it's looking pretty good. But the question is when? When do you think we're going to see these things take place? How do you feel like the SEC is pretty much loosened up enough to where we're going to see one of these get launched?
Well, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, there is a move right now for the framework for which ETFs will be allowed or which tokens will be allowed in an ETF and which ones aren't. I firmly believe that Ripple, is paving the way on a lot of other different things here. So, and obviously the connection with XRP. So I believe that XRP will be one of those tokens that will be in an ETF when all of this launches. There's a very clear court precedent now that's established. XRP is not a security. It will easily be moved into a 33 Act fund. And I actually believe out of all the ones that are pending, we already have Bitcoin, we already have Ethereum, but out of the pending ETFs, I think XRP is going to get the most traction and the most aid.
Why do you think that? I mean, what do you feel that institutional will understand?
I'll tell you why, because he's starting to figure it out.
And what Ripple is up to, and that XRP is the driving fuel behind it, much like where Ethereum is to, stable coins?
Yeah, I mean, and the two that I'm really looking at, because they're the most popular, obviously, are Solana and XRP. So I do believe there's going to be a lot more of a retail push into Solana. But those people that are buying Solana at the retail level are more easily buying them on crypto exchanges. So I don't know if there's going to be as much flow on that side of things. Whereas on XRP, it's really rails for financial services. Yeah. So I believe that there's going to be a lot more of a financial advisor, a institutional type push here. So maybe out of the gate, it won't be as popular as Solana, but as time goes on, I do believe that XRP will probably have more AUM than even Ethereum.
Ooh, okay. Now we're talking. That's a big statement.
And Bitcoin, I might add. It was bound to happen, folks. Here's Cody Carbone from the Digital Chamber on what's coming.
Hey everyone, this is Cody Carbone, CEO of the Digital Chamber, with another important ask. This week, the House of Representatives is voting on the Clarity Act. This is market structure legislation that will finally draw the jurisdictional lines between the SEC and the CFTC. So if you are issuing a token, you know who your regulator is. If you are listing a token, you know who your regulator is. And it provides the necessary disclosures so all retail investors can feel safe in what they are buying. We need your help and your voice to make sure that the House passes this with an overwhelming bipartisan vote. We've made it super easy for you. Click the link on the screen and call your member of Congress or email your member of Congress. We have a template there for you. Please make your voice heard, and let's get plus 300 votes on the Clarity Act to send it to the Senate and finally get the regulatory clarity that this industry deserves. If you have any questions, we're here for you as a resource. Thank you for your time on this. Make your voice heard. Pass the Clarity Act.
All right. Then we've got this from Tom Emmer.
Well, this is the most pro-crypto Congress ever, Mike. This week, we're going to be voting on the Clarity Act. We're going to be voting on my anti-central bank digital currency surveillance state act. And we're going to vote on the Senate's Genius Act, which is about stable coins. And by passing these bills, we're going to protect Americans' right to privacy, and we're going to ensure innovation remains right here in the United States of America. It's going to be a big week.
All right, I got a lot more on what's coming, legislation, but also the July 17th XRP rumor. We're going to go in DAIXRP.com, the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click the join button right below any of these YouTube videos, or you can join through X now. By hitting the subscribe button. I post all of my full videos plus the extended videos with no commercials in there. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.